showing off how well you look.
No, but I do feel well. But no noise. See? Isn't that wonderful? No noise. I could play with this thing all day long. So we got a new microphone.
Oh.
So yeah. No, I'll try to fix the old one. But no, and thank you for all your prayers. You know, everybody's saying, how do you feel today? And it's like, this microphone is hotter than the old one.
Yeah.
I feel great. You're not supposed to have a cold for 24 hours. My cold was gone in 24 hours.
Yeah.
The lingering stuff, you know, and all that. So thank you for all the prayers. It's like, holy smokes, that shit works. Let's see. We have our picnic coming up. That's not next Sunday. It's the Sunday after. Oh, okay. Okay. So we have a picnic then, and we have lots of fun. We eat lots of food. It's out there at Columbia Point, so it's like 5 minutes from here. You could walk if you had to, but we can get a ride for it if you need one. Early English ships were equipped with a device called a bitt, B-I-T-T. It was a heavy length of log, excuse me, mounted on an axle. A cable was rolled around it, one end nailed to the bitt and the other end to the anchor. This cable or bitter was very important. If anything happened to it, there was no way to keep the vessel from drifting with the tide. So it was made long and strong. Occasionally, however, it proved too short and the anchor would not catch. This situation was very alarming. It occurred often enough to brand bitter end into speech. Now you know where that slogan or thing came from. Before I go any further, you might not see Christopher here because he's not here right now. He is in the hospital. Again, he is at Trios, room 3050. So if you have any thoughts about going to see him, you might want to go see him. Okay? So, anyhow, people don't ever seem to realize that doing what's right is no guarantee against misfortune. Darn it. Christopher's certainly a case in point, is he not? It is, although you didn't know him in his earlier years, so. It is not impossibilities which fill us with the deepest despair, but possibilities which we have failed to realize. It is often the failure who is the pioneer in new lands, new undertakings, and a new form of expression. So take a chance. What's the worst that could happen? Unfortunately, that's been my motto most of my life. And I haven't really had anything worse that happened. Well, I've had some bad things, but then they don't get any worse than that. So, the Basenji is the only breed of dog that doesn't bark. It yodels. Yep.
Yeah.
And my boy, do they yodel. Oh my goodness. They do yodel. Mm-hmm. Oh, United Way is coming up. We get checks depending on either they forget to give it to us and then we get it once a year, or they remember on time and we get them like 3 times a year. But sooner or later we do get checks from United Way. And those are people that frequently work out in the area, and they get pressured to participate in the United Way. It's always a big deal out there to participate. And a lot of people do it because they want to, and that's wonderful. A lot of people do it because they have to, and that's okay too. But if you have to and you would like to donate, you can write in the Divine Fellowship, and we will get the donation. And we appreciate those. We have a lot of people that do that. It is greatly appreciated when we get those checks 2 or 3 times a year, once a year, whenever they decide on it. It's interesting. Every single year, we have to go down there and sign this piece of paper that says it's from the Patriot Act, which always kind of gives me a shivers, but that's about as political as I'll get on this. But and to tell the people that we're not a terrorist organization. Okay. We do have a couple patron saints, though, by the name of John Lennon and George Carlin. And John says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, then the world will be at peace. And I believe that will happen one day. And George, soft rock music isn't rock, and it ain't music. It's just soft. I believe that. You have fruit and veggies?
Bell peppers and bell peppers and
Jan, did you get some galas? Okay. This is more from the Washington Post Mensa Invitational, where they're invited to take any word from the dictionary, excuse me, alter it by adding, subtracting, or changing one letter and supplying a new definition. Carmageddon with a K. It's like when everybody is sending off all these really bad vibes, right? And then like, well, the earth just explodes and it's like a serious bummer, man. That was easy to say. Decathlon. The grueling event of getting through the day consuming only things that are good for you.
Oh.
I think coffee's good for you. Glibido with a G. All talk and no action. Okay. This is why we love children. Their descriptions, some of their descriptions. While walking along the sidewalk, excuse me, in front of his church, our minister heard the intoning of a prayer that made his collar wilt. Apparently, his 5-year-old son and his playmates had found a dead robin. Feeling that proper burial should be performed, they had secured a small box in cotton wool, then dug a hole and made ready for the disposal of the deceased. Disposal just sounds kind of awful. I was going to change that word, but I didn't. The minister's son was chosen to say the appropriate prayers and with sonorous dignity intoned his version of what he thought his father always said. Glory be unto the Father, and unto the Son, and into the Holy Ghost. I think that's it, isn't it? No, little kids, this is Martin, age 10. On the first date, what should you do on the first date? On the first date, they should just tell each other lies, and that usually gets them interested enough to go on the second date. Okay. Ooh, I forgot one. Oh, is that true? I did that one. Okay. Somebody has said that there's two kinds of people in the world. There are those who wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, Lord," and those who wake up in the morning and say, "Good Lord, it's morning." And this is baby boomers. They're going to change a bunch of songs, and here we go. Paul Simon, 50 ways to lose your liver. The Commodores, 1, 2, 3 times to the bathroom. Marvin Gaye, heard it through the grape nuts. Procol Harum, a whiter shade of hair. Or none at all. I went to an auto parts store twice on Friday. New guy was there, introduced himself to me the first time. I'd never seen him before, and so you would assume he would remember when I came back 2 hours later. But I had changed my clothes and I had a hat on. And I said something about coming in earlier, and he looks at me and he goes, "You did?" And I go, "Yeah, I took off my hat." And I says, "Does this help any?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I recognize you." What is that? Okay, I first did this one in June of 2008. And I think I've done it once or twice since then, but I'm going to do it again because I still like it. For several years, a man was having an affair with an Italian woman. One night, she confided in him that she was pregnant. Not wanting to ruin his reputation or his marriage, he paid a large sum of money. He paid a large sum of money if she would go to Italy and secretly have the child. If she stays in Italy to raise the child, he would also provide child support until the child turned 18. She agreed, but asked, "How would you know when the baby was born?" To keep it discreet, he told her to simply mail him a postcard and write spaghetti on it. He would then arrange for the child support payments. One day, about 9 months later, he came home to his confused wife. "Honey," she said, "you received a very strange postcard today." "Oh, give it to me and I'll explain it later," he said. The wife obeyed and watched as her husband, as he read and then turned white and then fainted. On the card was written, spaghetti, 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 spaghetti. 3 with meatballs, 2 without, send extra sauce. I don't understand. Oh, by the way, we are going to hopefully get Christopher on the phone and sing him happy birthday since this is his birthday.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning, everyone. I've got a few announcements to make. Speaking of Christopher, it is being his birthday. We've got a couple of cards we're going to send around. There's one for each side, so if you only need to sign one, and then Janice and Phil are going to deliver it to him later, so I'll go ahead and start those around. The Blue Man Group, we got 2 tickets donated to us for the Spokane on the 19th, 1 p.m. It is a Sunday. We are raffling those tickets off. The Blue Man Group, if you've never, October, what did I say? Oh, thank you. October 19th. $2 for a ticket. They are an amazing group. If you've never seen them before and you have access to YouTube, I would have you look them up and watch one, because they really are a lot of fun to watch, and I can imagine in person they're even better. So I am selling the tickets, $2 each. Come see me. I'll be at the door on the way out if you'd like to do it then. Construction in the back is starting tomorrow. It's going to go all week. Janice is calling for a volunteer to put a cabinet together. See her for the details. She'll know when it needs to be done and how to get in and everything. And the picnic. Last but not least, the 7th, it's going to be at 1 o'clock at the Columbia Point Park. Does everybody know where that's at? Joe and I should say Joe. Oh, is it noon? Noon, right after church. You can have time to go home and get your goodies, though. Noonish. Joe's going to do pulled pork and pulled chicken again this year, barbecue. And we ask that you guys bring the rest of stuff to go with it. So, do you have any? What? Oh, okay, come right up. Real quick. Yeah.
This is my daughter, Kimberly, and we mentioned last week that we were going to bring some bake sale stuff in. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit, just real quick, about what she's doing and raising money for. But there's stuff in the back for after church. Most of it's gluten-free. There's a couple things that are not, but all kinds of yummy stuff back there.
Most of it's homemade.
Most of it's homemade. There's some store-bought cupcakes back there. There's cheesecakes and little cupcake cheesecakes and some 7-layer bars that have everything that's pretty much doesn't have gluten in it in there. There is nuts in the 7-layer bars. There's some jars of peach compote back there, which there's some of it on top of some of the cheesecake cupcakes, and it goes really good on waffles and pancakes and your finger. And there's chocolate chip cookies. Red velvet cupcakes. So come see us afterwards and get some yummies.
And a little bit about me. So besides being her daughter, I'm a student at Eastern Washington University. I'll graduate next year with 2 degrees in environmental science and biology. Yeah, woo, so close. So I'm hoping after I graduate, I wanted to participate in this volunteer program at the Galapagos Islands that not only helps to restore the natural habitat of the endangered Galapagos tortoise, those are the big giant ones, if you guys ever seen those, but it also does community outreach with the local natives. It helps out the farmers, and then they also do horse therapy for underprivileged and disabled children. So it's just a really awesome program. I used to give horse riding lessons, so I would just love to help out the local children, along with, applying my skills that I learned in school to help the natural environment. So I'd really like to participate in this program. You can learn more about it when you come and get some goodies from us. So that's all. Thank you so much. What?
It's on YouTube,
Oh,
so they're wanting you to talk into the camera and let the people out in the internet know
Oh.
how they can help.
oh, okay. Oh, I do have a GoFundMe page. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's a great way to get your volunteer campaign out there. So I am on GoFundMe.com/Galapagos Volunteer. There's a picture of me, and then there's more information about the program and a link to the program site. Thank you. Oh, Kimberly Given.
Christopher, good morning. How are you? This is Phil. How are you doing this morning? Okay. Sure, sure. Hey, you have a birthday today. Well, this is close enough. You know what? We've got a bunch of people that are going to sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, like right now, okay? Okay, 1 and a 2 and a 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christopher. Happy birthday to you. And many more. It is the whole church. Yes, it is.
My purse is a danger zone. So if I say, well, Phil, it's in my purse, he'll bring me my purse. Does not venture into the depths therein. Well, I apologize, I'm not Christopher. And we'll just hold out our hearts for him and check with him next time. In the meantime, I want to share with you something. How to start. See, this is really a challenge for me because I found out yesterday morning that I was doing today, so I haven't had all week to traumatize about it, so I just have right now to traumatize about it. So this morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, the message came, so that's a good thing. So it's like trying to put it all together, but it's a wonderful thing. See, here's what happens in my world, is I get a thought and I go, oh, that's a cool thought, and I hang it over here, my aura, and then I get another cool thought, oh, hang it over there. And I have no idea where it'll all fit together. So as I'm talking to you and I'm in this free flow moment and I'm allowing things to be as they are, which is really a challenge for Virgo. She knows. Things will light up. And I go, oh, I'll talk about that now. No, I'll talk about that now. And so it's kind of a free flow moment. And sometimes things come in that I hadn't even thought of. And other times things that I have thought of that I've hung out there carefully are like, no, you're not going to say that. So, you know, it just gets to be this moment that is what it is. So, thank you for bearing with me. So what's lighting up for me now is the fact that I wanted to I read a book recently called Making Hope Happen. Interesting book. And it was written by Shane Lopez, who is PhD. He is one of the senior analysts for the Gallup poll. And so if you get a chance to take a look at the book, I got it as an ebook and it was like $10.99 or something. And he talks about having hope. And hope is this wonderful spiritual commodity that we forget about, I think, sometimes. And we don't really, how can I say this? We believe that optimism is enough. And it's not. Hope is a whole nother level of spirituality. Pessimism and optimism, if my mouth will work right. You see a glass of water, it's either half full or half empty. Pessimist says it's half empty. Optimist says it's half full. Someone who has hope knows that their life depends upon having fluids, having water. They also know that that is sufficient for them right now. And they also know that if they need more, there are vast reservoirs of fresh, artesian water that they can access, either through turning on the tap, or through filtered bottled water, or they can go get one of those big jugs. They have options for fulfilling the challenge that comes with being human and having that great need. Totally different thing. A lot of times those of us who are spiritually motivated and are in the metaphysical world, we think positive thought is really, really powerful. And it is. And it is. Positive thought without hope is fruitless. And we forget that hope has this wonderful, powerful value. Because hope looks at things and goes, oh, there's a challenge attached to that. And not only is there a challenge attached to that, but I could go this way, or I could go that way, or I could go this other way. And so-and-so has information for me. They could help me. I could go do a fundraiser at church. I could bake some goodies and get some funds for that. And this other person over here can help me. They don't do it alone. Hope says, I'll find a way. And hope says, I'm not alone. I get to ask for help. I get to find a way, and that includes gathering together people who know more than me. People who are just optimistic tend to be, this is how it is, that's where I'm going, and that's the end of that. Well, that doesn't always work, does it? Have you ever had a positive thought, oh, I'm going to make that happen, and it doesn't? Then we're devastated. Because we haven't really relied on hope. We've relied on our self-will, our willpower, and our intellect alone. And what's really funny is the guy that wrote the book, he did a lot of research on IQ. That was his main course of study as he was doing his PhD. And when he got into the practical world, he realized that it didn't matter whether a person's IQ was really high or their IQ was really low. If they had hope, they succeeded. It didn't matter how much money or how much privilege a person had. If they had hope, they succeeded. Hope was the commodity that worked. Hope was the commodity that changed lives. Intellect and money and willpower didn't do it. But hope did. So that got me to thinking, where do we get hope? Where does hope come from? Well, that's a complicated story in and of itself. Hope has lots of sources. Hope as a resource comes from that place in our being when we go, here I am, I'm right here, and I want to go there. I don't know for sure how to get there, but I'm going to get there. And I have hope to get there. They've got their own, Bill?
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's separate?
Separate, yeah. Oh, it's okay. Just fire up something else. So train of thought, had a derailment there. I'll reconnect. Hope. Hope is centered around a goal, but is not locked to that only. There's more to it than having a goal. Because sometimes you can be really hopeful and have no darn clue where you're going from here. Have you experienced that? But it's wonderful if you have a goal, because then hope gets you there. Hope is that commodity that gets you there. Willpower can get you a long ways. And direction and focus can get you a long ways. But without hope, we're not willing to try anything. We're not willing to step out of our comfort zone and do it differently. We get stuck in that pattern of oughta, gotta, should, must, have to, always, and never. And when we get into that, it's ought to look at this way. It should look that way. I should have this. I should do that. As soon as we get in that state of being, then we disconnect from the dynamic resources of spirit. Hope accesses the dynamic aspects of spirit. Because I can tell you, I can't tell you a specific, but I can tell you on more than one occasion, you probably have more than one occasion in your world where you thought, I really want to get here. And so you're focused and you're doing your deal. And you have hope and you're doing whatever you need to do. And then lo and behold, a miracle happens and it took you a whole different direction and the outcome was far better than what you had imagined. You ever done that? There's that dynamic power that happens with hope. Hope accesses or gives us access to spiritual forces beyond our own knowing and beyond our own willpower. It gives us this miraculous movement in our life that we can't get there from here without. Now that's not to say we can't, out of our sheer power of will, make things happen. Because we do that. I am getting that kitchen clean, hell or high water. It's called a cleaning frenzy. Beware, be careful. It's like Shark Week, don't you think? Just be careful. It's a dangerous thing. But you can do a lot of things by sheer willpower. And there's a lot of things you can't do no matter how much willpower you have. Because it's outside of you. And especially when we have hopes and dreams and goals that are bigger than us. You ever had a dream that's bigger than you? When we have hopes and dreams that are bigger than us, it takes more than us to get there. And it takes a mindset willing to be open to something new and different. I've never done that before. Oh, well, that's scary. Well, I can go back to oughta, gotta, should, must, have to, always, never. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Or I can try something new. Oh, no, it's scary. I don't like new. Okay. But without new, without challenging ourselves, without trying something new, here's what the good book says. This one. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is the tree of life. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Oh, that's loaded. That's just loaded. And here's why it's loaded. Because hope deferred is more than just this hope thing. Sometimes it's our expectations. Our expectations get derailed. And that can make us heartsick. Have you ever had a dream or a goal that just didn't happen? I'm sure you have. And then down the road, maybe 5-10 years later, you go, oh, thank God that didn't happen. What was I thinking? But at the time, we're heartsick because that's not what we want. We want this. It's a good goal. It's a righteous goal. It's an important goal. And we're heartsick. But desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Desire. Let's look at that word just for a tiny minute. Desire. Desire comes from the heart space, not from here. I should do this. I should do that. I should clean the kitchen. Guess what? It ain't happening. But if you get to a place of, I really would love that kitchen to sparkle. Man, I find energy I didn't know I had. And that kitchen sparkles. It's like, oh, look at that. Now let's go cook something. Oh, okay. It was fun while it lasted. But now my heart desires a really good meal. Let me go fix one. Oh, okay. And I've got a clean kitchen to do it in. But when we're in our heart space, that desire moves us forward. That desire is a part of this hope aspect. And just expecting ourselves or having demands on ourselves is just going to wear us out and put us into a grind. That's where burnout comes from, folks. Burnout. When we think, I should be doing that. And we just push and push and push and push and push until we hit a wall and we go, oh, I just can't do it anymore. Then it's time to look at what are we hoping for? What was our hope to start with? What was our hope to start with? I guarantee you, if you don't have a point B, you're at point A. If you don't have a point B right now, it's because your heart's sick about something else. We can't move forward without hope. And sometimes when our hopes have been disappointed and disappointed and disappointed and disappointed, it's hard to have hope. So what do you do to get hope? What do you do to get hope? Wasn't a whole lot of suggestions in the book, Making Hope Happen. But I have a suggestion for you in this book. It's a good book. You might want to read it someday. Psalm 62:5. My soul, wait in silence for God only, for my hope is from Him. Oh, crap. Gotta be silent. Oh, well, there's that shut the heck up with the inner talking. And you know what? The inner talking is just evil. Because sometimes what we say to ourselves is, I wouldn't talk to my dog that way. True? But we say some of the most horrific things to ourselves. We gotta quit that. I gotta quit that. And instead, shut up and listen and wait. Now, one thing the book Making Hope Happen did say is, find out what you really love. Oh, don't you love it? What are you really good at? Instead of doing what you're not good at, find what you're really good at and do more of that. We tend to focus on what we can't do. Well, I can't do this, so I should go take a class on that. Okay, well, maybe. It's always good to improve what we don't know. But what are you really good at, and do more of that. And then the door will open and you'll have this dynamic, miraculous experience. You go, oh, wouldn't it be fun if I could do that? And bing, hope starts. Hope starts. Wouldn't it be great if? Wouldn't it be? And sometimes hope starts from kind of a negative, dark place. Somebody should blah, 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 blah. Oh, crap, that's me. Somebody should. And it's me. I thought of it. Oh, no. So even if you're in a space where it's like, I am in this should place because things should just be different. Okay, so you've been gifted with a divine ability no one else has, and you can make a difference. You can make a difference. If it's been put in your heart that it's not okay, it's been put in your heart to find a different way to do it. Who knew? And that's where hope begins. The hope is it gets to be better from here. That's what hope is. I'm in competition here. Can she sing like quietly? Thank you. Not that it wasn't lovely. It's just lovely. So what do you do well and do that? There's more I want to share with you. Now, this is in Romans 15:13. May the God of hope, bye, love you. She's so cute. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing. God will fill you up if you haven't got it. If you've been disappointed, I get that. We all have. And maybe you don't have a point B from here. That's okay. That's okay. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. CSI. How many people watch NCIS, CSI, all that stuff? And they have to examine the evidence, right? There's evidence. By the blood spatter, they can tell what happened. By the blood splatter in your life, by the blood splatter in your life, you can tell what happened, that there is evidence of divine connection. When we get quiet and we wait, when we get in the silence of just that open anticipation. Now, I don't know about some of you, but we're always reinventing ourselves. And that happens with me too. I can't, just for some reason, can't be satisfied with being satisfied. What? Just let me be simple. I don't know. And sometimes in that process of reinventing myself, I don't know where I'm going. And I kind of get a little lost. You ever been there? Okay, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I could be doing something. I know something's wonderful coming, but I don't know what that is. When we can sit in the stillness and have hope, wait for hope, ask for hope, hope is gifted. And hope isn't just a positive mental mindset. It's that motivation and that ability to move forward and have clear understanding of the obstacles and challenges ahead and ways around them. And the ability to ask for help, ask for assistance along the way. Hope can do that. And hope is a gift. You don't have to have it right now. Sometimes it's like, well, things are never going to get any different with me and my kids. Things are never going to get any different with me at work. Things are never going to get any different with my health issues. Things are never going to get any different with this or that or the other thing. And that's a hope stealer. That's a hope stealer. But if we can sit and be quiet, say, well, what would I like that to look like? And know that whatever I'm looking at, I'm the one. I'm the one. I can't expect that person out there to do it differently. I'm the one. And when I can get in a place of hope, answers come. Insights come. And I'm in a current switcheroo process here. Things are shifting and changing for me, and I'm not really sure what that's going to look like out there. And it's a little scary. But I have hope that whatever is out there for me to do next or me to accomplish next is going to be awesome. You know how I know that? Because the last thing was awesome. And the thing before that was awesome. And there were discouragements along the way, and there were hardships along the way. But you know what? It's awesome. And it's just going to get awesome. Awesomer and awesomer. If I get out of my head and that talk that says it's not okay, and who do you think you are, and you'll never make it, and no matter what you do, it's always going to be bad, just shut it up. If we can make it quiet and ask for hope, hope becomes infused in us. Hope is delivered to us. It's a gift. And you have a divine right to ask for it. You have a divine right to ask for it. So do so. It's okay to ask for hope. I'm discouraged. I'm heartbroken here. Bring me hope. And with it, open to the possibilities that there are possibilities you haven't thought of yet. There are possibilities that are beyond my awareness. Because I'm a chicken. I don't want it to be very big. I want it to be little and controlled. Also a Virgo thing. But it doesn't get to be that way for me sometimes. So I get to be out of control. I get to be bigger than I think I am. I get to be expanded. That's not comfortable. But it's worth it. But it's worth it. And together we can do that. And there are things that you know and you can do that I don't. And together we'll make it happen. We'll get it together. I have a story to tell you. Someone you know, maybe we'll share this story another day themselves. But they were working on a project. And it just wasn't happening. Just wasn't happening. They needed a job. No, it's not you, Jen. They needed a job. She's got a job, by the way. Congratulations. And one she wanted, yay. So anyway, this person just was so discouraged, and they were just upset, and they kept praying and crying, and, you know, give me, please, God, I'm doing the best I can here. I need some help. Come on. All of a sudden, they got a little thing in the mail. Here's the key. Come try to see if you want a car. And oh, by the way, you've already won an MP3 player. This person didn't need an MP3 player. They need no stinking MP3 player. Oh, what the heck. It's something. Maybe I can take it and sell it. You know, whatever. Money was a real big issue. Person shows up. And not only got an MP3 player, key didn't work. Got to talking to the owner and was able to work out a deal where they could work part-time doing something they really liked and they're really good at, and have free time to do this other venture that they're really working hard to make launch. And if they hadn't gotten up off their duff and gone to get the blessing, even though it had nothing to do with their hope and dream, but a miracle happened. Sometimes we don't accept the little blessings that come our way because, oh, they're not big enough. They're big enough. And miracles happen in the weirdest, strangest ways. They do. This person had almost lost hope. Almost lost hope. But they still had hope. And then they acted. They took an action. And oh my gosh, it was far better than they could have ever imagined it being. And that's what hope will do for us. It opens doors that we didn't even know existed. So I want to walk us through a guided meditation. I want to give you access to hope. Okay? If you have hope, that's great. This will amplify your hope.